Hello, my name is Rebecca Borchers.
My name is Megan Wilkinson.
And I'm Kaylee McCall.
For our service movie, we decided to create a training video titled Serving the Guest and Putting It to the Test.
Our video describes how to correctly perform techniques for assessing quality during the service experience.
We will be going over 5 different techniques while showing examples of their implementation and how they can also be applied in different businesses. These techniques are as follows: job performance standards, managerial observation, employee observation, service guarantees, and structured guest interviews.
Hope you enjoy our video. To make sure that the service experience is up to the guest's expectations, sometimes job performance standards will be put into place. A job performance standard will be easy for employees to follow and managers to monitor. In this example, an employee refused to say the company standard of "my pleasure" instead of "you're welcome." This led to a below expectation experience, which the guest then mentioned on a comment card.
You're welcome.
This action could have also been noticed by another employee or manager. Job performance standards can be done in different ways, ranging from monitoring the check-in time with airline companies, all the way to assessing the order wait time at a restaurant, checked by servers rearranging the condiments after a guest has been served. On the downside, this technique of assessing quality during the service is that there is less creativity coming from the employee's standpoint and will not apply to every situation.
Managerial observation involves a supervisor or manager monitoring service standards, keeping the employee alert, and making sure that each aspect of the service is upheld to what was displayed in training. While a manager is observing problems, there is a first-hand experience that allows for immediate coaching and direction that can also lead to direct feedback from the guests. With this example, the waitress took the plate of food away from the guests before they were finished with their main course. After the manager noticed this problem, they were able to easily pull the server to the side and confront them so that in the future this action could be corrected. Additionally, using MBWA, management by walking around, a very common practice in most restaurants, managers can always ask the guests how the service is going so far, allowing them to step in and fix the problem immediately. On the other hand, managers being away from their responsibilities of monitoring other aspects of the business and employees can lead to a lack of focus on the overall operation, and speaking directly with the customers on service standards can require a lot of previous training.
Employees are also qualified to ask the guests how their service is going or if they're enjoying their experience. This method can sometimes make the guests more inclined to speak up about their opinions and will empower the employee to uphold service standards. There is little to no cost in asking the employees to get the opinion of guests, and it provides on-the-spot feedback. As you can see, the front desk clerk asked the guests about their stay at the hotel. When the guests mentioned how unhappy they were so far, the employee was easily able to help improve their perception of the company, which is learned through guest satisfaction training.
Awesome. Thank you. Employee observation can happen at any time during the process of service, ranging from direct communication of the issues a customer is facing to noticing the lack of attention a guest may additionally need. The disadvantages of employee observation is in the morality of the employee and not reporting problems to managers in fear of discipline, which can lead to lack of validity in the communication of service issues.
Service guarantees are used to measure quality levels so that both the guest and employee will know exactly what is expected, and if those levels are not met, a set guarantee of refund can be made. This can be helpful as it creates an atmosphere where both guests and employees monitor service and is a way to gain better feedback that can be documented properly in the company. As you can see, after the guest finds out that her room is not up to standard, she is guaranteed a free stay by the manager to make up for the lack of cleanliness. The problem can now be handled in the correct department and the customer is satisfied with her service. Other companies guarantee a refund of their products or service, such as poor weather conditions affecting vacation packages and restaurant meal compensation if it was not satisfactory. When refunds are available, they may not always be communicated correctly by employees, and the misuse of refunds can be costly for the company if guests are knowledgeable about the guarantee.
Structured guest interviews are face-to-face confrontation of the guest by any employee that can result in feedback of direct situations and services provided. These are more in-depth than printed responses, as guests can elaborate more and are more likely to answer questions on the spot than complete a questionnaire later on after the service. Those who are directly employed to handle customer feedback as they leave the theme park stop the guests to make sure that their time spent was satisfactory. This allowed for the guests to recall events that happened that day and made it easier to give information when specific questions were asked. Guest interviews that are structured have open-ended questions rather than informal interview processes. They can be used in restaurants for meal satisfaction, hotels to check on the amenities available, and even in retail stores. Disadvantages of this method can be that incentives are necessary when guests are asked to take time out of their day to answer questions, and there is specific training needed to get consistent results.
So overall, we recommend implementing a variation of these techniques to make sure that the guest experience is up to par with what they expect. Making sure that the guests' expectations are met during the service allows problems to be fixed on the spot and solutions to be implemented immediately.
Even though there are downsides to each technique, pairing them with the correct measurement of service can lead to better flow and communication while the service is performed.
We hope you enjoyed our training videos, serving the guest and putting it to the test, assessing quality during service experience. Thanks for watching!